Hello. Welcome to a kind of unusual stream, as Ash pointed out, a Wednesday. It's been a very tiresome 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, however long it's been since the last time I got to stream. 1.5 weeks maybe it was. And a lot of stress, and a lot of just not stress, a little bit, but I mean it's just tired and needing to rest. And so I took yesterday off. I took today off. I said, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing. I've got weeks of PTO stashed up still, so and our PTO is use it or lose it, so I'm just like, you know what, I'll take my time as I please. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So that's why the unorthodox Wednesday. But yeah. How's everybody doing? I'm doing all right. I appreciate it. Welcome in, by the way, Bogus, Ash, Thumb. It's a pleasure to have you guys here. I didn't expect many would be able to show up because it's in the middle of the week. I just kind of thought, you know, if this is what I do to distress, and I haven't gotten to do it in a while, and you know, because I was traveling before, we had company, I had work that I had to do that was just remarkably demanding. It was just like, my goodness. So, and then so many different things have happened in that. You know, we've lost a lot of, like, there's a lot of celebrities we've lost, and we've done, there's a lot of legal stuff that's changed, especially in the state of Texas, but obviously the United States is currently doing a lot of changes, as is Europe. You know, the UK's done some changes. We're seeing a lot. So a lot has changed in just the amount of time that it took for me to go from the last stream to here. So much has changed. So we lost Hulk Hogan. We lost Ozzy Osbourne, which Hulk Hogan's wasn't that big of a deal to me. I was genuinely, I say I would never be sad over a millionaire or whatever. I mean that more in terms of like business boohoo practices, but I can honestly say I was genuinely, and still remain genuinely sad about the loss of Ozzy Osbourne. His music was a huge part of my, especially my teen years, was just a huge part of it. He was the reason that I wanted to, well, he wasn't specifically, I guess it was Sabbath and Ozzy, were the reason I learned to play the guitar. So the big ones for them is him and Sir Elton John. If we lose Sir Elton John, then I'll be sad there too, because he's the whole reason I learned the piano. But so that's you know, we've lost all of that. But yeah, Ozzy was a huge. In my teen years, I was kind of by myself. I didn't really have a lot of great support and family and all this other kind of good stuff. And that music was just a huge thing. Just sitting and learning to play guitar and, you know, doing what I could. So very, very sad that, still sad that he's gone. Omega, how you doing? Good to see you. I keep popping into, I keep getting to watch your streams. I just don't get to commentate. I've been traveling like crazy the past couple of weeks and doing a bunch of stuff, so I apologize. You've got my like on a lot of them, and I've watched them for sure, but 9 times out of 10 I'm driving. So I'm so sorry. But it's always a pleasure to get to see you and to talk with you. I was talking about, I hadn't streamed for a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that, and how much has changed. England might be in rubble by the time the changes that are happening just worldwide right now, and every generation says it's crazy, but I feel genuinely like we're legitimately at the craziest times. Let's put it that way. That it's been. We've just so many things that are happening, and it's like, my gosh. I haven't done anything related to my channel in over a month. Been busy trying to look to going back to taking school classes and working on reorganizing my living space. Hey, that's all right. That's the priority, right? You have to do what's going to be best for you first. you've got to prioritize yourself. So I mean, it's been fun, and I apologize. I've been hit and miss. You and I have been messaging back and forth, and it's been so difficult to just sit down and do. So I took time off to do it, but man. So I took today off. I took yesterday off. I took today off. I'll go back to work tomorrow. I only work during the summer. We only work half days on Friday, which is I'm thankful for. And then I'm done. I'm going into the weekend. Next week I've got a whole bunch of stuff already on my plate. So I'm just like, man. Work doesn't start for a while. No worries. Don't. It's never an obligation. It's always a shame that I don't get to say hi or get to see how you're doing, check in and just make sure you're doing well, and I mean, obviously you seem to be having fun when you're playing the games and such, but it's just like, I don't know, it's good to get to kind of catch up and chat. So it's never an obligation. It's just a regret that I of a pleasant conversation I didn't get to have, missing out on that, but I appreciate that very much. You tell me our lives hold on. Specifically, yes, our lives specifically. Your lives come first. Mine is secondary. Yeah, it's just so much stuff has happened. Everything's changing. One of the biggest things. Let's see. We'll see what happened. I know how you feel about how recently I had to work on a ton of OT, which means I couldn't do much. Oh yeah, it's crazy. I'm salaried, and I think I work for so the company I work for is we have an American branch, but we're out of Europe. But anyway, point being is, we've got. And I think we're better about this. I think our company's better about it than other companies. But it's when you're in America, there's an expectation. We'll talk about the difference in work ethic and the belief of work ethic. But when you're in America, there's almost an expectation of you to give 110% in everything that you do. If you're salaried, a lot of companies interpret that to mean. If you're salaried, I think a lot of companies interpret that to mean that you're always on the clock, and you have to kind of correct them and go, no, that's not what that means. That means that you get a fixed rate for a fixed amount of work, right? If me being on call isn't a part of the contract, then that salary doesn't cover calling me after hours, and so there's no obligation. You want to try and append that to the contract, then I can say no and we can renegotiate, or you can leave it alone. But I think a lot of companies do that. A lot of companies expect you to give overtime. It's like, oh, you this is your obligation. I'm short. Well, that's not my problem. Am I going to make the extra money? Is it going to be worth my while? That's decisions we have to make. America, the work ethic is very, I'm not going to lie, Americans are certainly hard workers. A lot of us are very hard workers. But I think a lot of the American companies have kind of misconstrued or misinterpreted intentionally, perhaps, I'm going to say unintentionally, perhaps, because I believe it's probably actually intentional. But I'll give the benefit of the doubt to them. A lot of companies have tried to interpret it in whatever way is going to mean that they get the most out of you for the least. And I'm perfectly 100% okay with doing exactly what my contract says. A good company is one that motivates you to give 110% without expressly demanding it from you. If somebody says, I'm going to pay you 100% of your pay, and I want you to give 110%, then somebody's making a free 10%, right? It's bad business for an individual. So just that's kind of where my stuff is when it comes to that. The OT is finally over. Good. I'm glad. I hope in the next few years I'm out of England. Best of luck to you too. I mean, again, there's several great places. I've got my complaints. I've got my gripes with America, but I do like America on the whole. And presidents do change every 4 to 8 years. So if I've got a problem, I don't have to wait very long, thankfully. I don't have my movie channel or audio podcast up yet. Ash, thanks for asking. Working on my living space. Salaries, right? Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of companies do. They interpret, salary means you're always on their clock, and I've been very clear to every company. I've been salaried multiple times. As a matter of fact, I've been salaried more than I've been hourly, and in some ways I like hourly better, so long as the hourly rate is reasonable. Because it is a pretty direct reflection of getting paid for the effort you're putting in. But in terms of salary, a lot of people, if you're salaried, this is what you're on the clock. You're on the clock all the time. No, that's not what that means. That means I've agreed to be on the clock for this paycheck between these hours, and anything I give extra to that is mine to give. Fair enough. Look forward to it. Yeah, it'll be nice. I would slow down and work soon so I can focus on my hobbies again. It's good to make sure we're making time for the catharsis. It certainly is, because work is just crazy. I'd rather live in Europe. I'd rather live in Europe if I didn't have family over here. That's fair. Europe has great places. Europe. The thing about Europe is it's quite a lot. I guess technically, it's quite a lot more. I don't know how to say it. It seems like the changes, the cultural changes, the changes to people, environment, and so on and so forth, climate even, is more drastic. You can go to Scandinavia, you can go to England and Scotland and Wales, or you can go to Ireland, or you can come back over to France and Germany, and you go to parts of Russia if you want to, and so it's like there are all kinds of different. It's very diverse. It's diverse over here also, but everybody still kind of shares that American baseline, I guess, and things change decently drastically, but it's all still, you don't feel like you're getting a completely or at least I don't. But then again, I've done 28 states in the past several decades. And so maybe it just all bleeds together, and that's my fault. That's probably true. Climate-wise, though, I have preferences on states. Climate-wise, I'm not a fan of any of the sunny states. I don't. People-wise, it's all a different. It's all up to interpretation. But climate-wise, my gosh. I'd probably move somewhere else in Europe, though. Yeah, Copenhagen was nice when I was there. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like if I wanted to move to Europe, I think I would want to move to places like Copenhagen or Reykjavik or something like that. That's depending on if they'd have us, because I think a lot of people have kind of migrated or attempting to migrate over to Scandinavia. And different various places like or Copenhagen for that matter. I'm not saying that anyone shouldn't be content. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be content with what they have, but it's just things are changing. Things are getting. I don't know. Things are getting. I think things are getting more dangerous, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I think Copenhagen I would enjoy, mostly because of the climate in Copenhagen, climate in Copenhagen, even in the midst, here in Texas, okay, and in the parts of Texas, we'll do Fahrenheit again, and I've said this before, but getting 115, 120, 121 degrees Fahrenheit, 50 degrees or so Celsius, 49, 50 degrees Celsius is not uncommon. You might have, last year we had entire months that were just that amount of that temperature back to back to back to back. And Copenhagen, it's like July, August is, maybe 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. you know. So I mean, the colds are cold, but the warms are no more than warm, which I think is great. So Iceland is nice too. Oh, I have no doubt Iceland is nice. I've never lived outside of California. The idea kind of scares me. No, that's fair. I've gotten too used to it. I worked in California. This is a long time ago. 20 years? I don't know. So it was a long time ago. I worked in California. I worked in Anaheim for a time. And people were okay. My job didn't put me in contact with the everyday person as much as it put me in contact with, you know, specific people of a specific niche, and so I kind of knew what I needed to talk about. Climate-wise, wasn't for me, but neither is Texas. I don't like Texas climate. I worked in Orlando, Florida. I don't like that either. Colorado, Colorado, all the way in terms of climate, or New England. Most of the areas of New England are great. Yeah, I've 28 states, so it's been a long time. So they drove Ozzy through Birmingham a week or two ago. I would have gone if I'd have known. I'm only half an hour away from there. They did. I felt guilty watching the procession because I know they paid to do I watched the procession. I wish I could have tried. There's no way I would have been able to get the time in. I absolutely would have traveled to Birmingham to see him, but I don't know. Kind of part of me felt guilty, because to me, as big of a deal as Ozzy was, and the music of Ozzy was to my life, which is a bunch. Again, just the teen years, listening to Blizzard of Oz, you know, and it's like, my gosh, it's just amazing. And my favorite song, my favorite song may be "Shot in the Dark," which I think a lot of people don't pay as much attention to, but from the what is it, Ultimate Sin album, came out in '86. It's like one of the best songs, in my opinion, the epitome of '80s rock and roll. I was like, man. And then, of course, I was a big Beatles fan, too, so that kind of flowed because that was his influence. I was like, man. But my point being, as big of a deal as all of that was, it didn't feel right to have everybody else there to give him the goodbye until, you know, I feel like that should have happened maybe after the family had a full amount of time to kind of grieve themselves. You know, Sharon and Jack and Kelly and Amy they could have all just, you know, and I feel like they had to do this in the very apex of their mourning, and it's like they felt like there was something owed to their fans, which I think is really selfless and respectful of them to do that to the fans. But at the same time, I feel like that some sort of a celebration well after they've had an opportunity to kind of pass through the personal part of it would have been more appropriate. So I even felt guilty watching the streamed procession. But it's like, man. The Scandinavian countries are very chill, no pun intended. The people just go at a slower pace, it seems. Aside from being on the bike, that's the thing. You're spot on, and there was a book that came out, and I made a commentary on it. It's a public commentary. It's not Social Network. It's actually kind of a review, but it was called "The Art of Going Slow." America's really bad about this, and there are a lot of other places that are too. China's pretty bad about it. Japan can be fairly bad about it, depending on where in Japan you go. Specifically, I'm talking about Shenzhen, Guangdong region, Japan. We're so encouraged to move so quickly and do everything right now, and it kind of. We kind of make fun of people for saying you have a TikTok attention span, and then businesses get away with that same TikTok attention span where it's like, you need to do this, and they kind of stack things on you. You've got to do all this before this. You know, you've got this amount of time. Everybody wants instant gratification. Businesses aren't any different than individuals, and individuals have kind of become that way societally. Government's that way now. It's like, it's got to be instantaneous. People looking to government, you know, people looking to... So it's kind of like, slowing down. Oh my goodness. We need to focus on slowing down. We got to start focusing on quality instead of quantity, because it's going to kill us. I still think California is a simulation. I'll take your guys' word for it that it's real. It's real, and it's an incredibly significant state historically and currently. As a matter of fact, it is the second largest. No, it isn't. It's the it is. No, it's the most populated. I believe it's the most. Yeah, it's the most populated state in the whole of the United States. I believe it's the third largest, though, in terms of land mass. Texas is both 2 and 2. Texas is the second largest in terms of land mass, and it's also the second largest in terms of population. Largest in terms of land mass is Alaska. Alaska's huge, but it's fairly barren, all things considered. So, the U.S. has a rich history of diverse cities and regions, but for me, something about Greece, Italy, and France and other countries have so much more history and architecture. Well, you have to think about it. You're spot on. You're absolutely spot on. The U.S. does have a rich history of all of that, but you also have to consider that the United States, as the United States, has only existed for 249 years. And when we talk about ancient Greece, we're talking about some of the great philosophers and mathematicians of that. We're talking about 4,000 years. We're talking about 2,000 BC or BCE if you're a before Common Era person. So same with Italy and with France. Obviously, we talk about the Roman Empire, and we still have Rome, Italy, in that. So and we talk about, if you think about the 1600s, you think about books like Ivanhoe, which was about. It was a Robin Hood fiction. It was about was it Wilfred, I believe, and they're talking about Normans, right? They're talking about French-speaking Scandinavian people who had acclimatized to France and so on and so forth. These guys have had so much more time to build up on that, and they take a lot more pride in it. The United States has always kind of been, as much as I hate to say it, the United States has kind of been tried to be a little bit more ahead of the curve, fast-paced, and we've kind of done ourselves a disservice, I think, in trying to be the head of innovation. We've definitely pushed the envelope to a point where we are recognized as a force, as a force to be reckoned with, and I think there's some pride to be taken from that. But I think it's now the time where we just slow down a little bit, and it's like, I agree with that. Apparently, they did it for the fan. I know they did, and I felt so bad when I saw them deliver their flowers to it, and then Sharon throw up her peace sign, and she's got Ozzy's wedding band around her neck, and Kelly's sitting there holding her, and she's got her dad's glasses on, and Jack's sitting there, and even Jack can't keep a straight face. He's, I'm like, you don't have to share, not yet. You don't have to share. This was an influential. This is a worldwide influential. This man and his music was influential the world over. But this was her husband of decades. This was their father of decades. They don't have to share. We have. He shared with us what he wanted to. I appreciate if you want to share beyond that, but they didn't have to do that. I felt so bad about that. And seeing her through, she looked ridiculously frail in that moment, and I don't blame her. I thought they had a pact where it's basically like, if one went, the other one would probably follow soon after on purpose. And I'm like, I get it. You mean Will Ferrell? He means. I was trying to think if it was. I was trying to think if the name was Wulfric or Wilfred, but it's Wilfred. Ivanhoe is Wilfred. I couldn't think of it. French speaking? No, thank you. The more you slow down, the less productive you are. Money is the most and only important thing in the world. Well, here's the thing: is that sentence? You're making a perfect point, Thumb. But I think you've made it perfectly too. You've put productive in quotations, but we can be better productive. Think about how art works. Putting out a lot isn't equal to putting out one good one. Think about the song that you didn't have to cut me off, or what, somebody I used to know, whatever. That guy did one song, and that song has billions of listens and views and whatever else. And that was it. He's doing music elsewhere. He's just doing it lower. He didn't want to be big, and so but it was the quality of the song. It just resonated, and it was high quality for a lot of people, and that's how it worked. And then he falls, and it shows that in his case, he's outlasted other songs and music videos and things that were of the same year. and some that are even prior to that, just because it was about the single, it was about the quality. So, but you're spot on. I mean, you've made the point perfectly. Money can be important, but it doesn't need to be the most, you know. As we speak, I'm doing 10 things. No worries. Again, there's no obligation. It's always just a pleasure to get to talk and to listen to hear from you guys. You guys want some money? I've got a few quid, not to brag. Save that up for when you decide you want to move, Mr. Ash. I'm being a bit sarcastic, but yeah, I agree about the quality, though quantity can work in some cases. Quantity can. I mean, obviously, here's the thing. Here's the question. Would you rather do one really good thing in a day or 10 poor things? 10 things poorly. One thing very well or 10 things quite poorly. And I think most people say, well, what if we did 5 acceptably? Right? And I think that's the median. But the problem with it is the business wants the 10 acceptably, or the 10 at Sterling. And it's like, oh, you know, I'll do it, but you have to pay me. And I've done that with every job. Every job I go into, it's like, we want this, this, and this. Oh, this is what I want for that. Well, we don't pay that. Well, then you don't get that quality, do you? That's just not how this works. I have certifications and credential and this and that and the other. If you want, you came to me because you had this going on. You wanted this result. I'm happy to do it. This is what I charge. We'll find somebody else. Okay. I have no problem with that. Just like you'll find somebody else, so will I. So you know, you almost have to adopt being a bit of a, and I don't mean to say that you should, but kind of a bit of a jerk in the negotiations with a lot of these guys. I made money from music or a few films. If I made money from music or a few films or anything, like unrealistic amounts of money, you would never see me again. I couldn't deal with the fame side of it. I wouldn't want fame either. I don't think I would. I wouldn't like fame. Money-wise, I've always said this, and maybe I'm wrong, but if I ever made ungodly amounts of money, I would put as much back as I thought would be necessary to retire on comfortably when the time for retirement would come. I have a friend who's actually a financial advisor and an expert, so I wouldn't mind having that conversation, but putting enough back to make sure I could retire, paying off any sort of debt that I have now. I don't have very many debts. And then selectively helping out a few people, a few members of the family. And then I think I would probably donate the rest that I didn't need, because I don't need millions of dollars a year. There's a thing called lifestyle inflation, and there would probably be a little of that. You know, upgrade this, you know, pay off a house that's, you know, this. If I had millions of dollars, I don't think I'd buy a $2 million home. I'd probably buy a $400,000 home and say, okay, let's just call that good, you know? Because I don't need a freaking mansion and all this other stuff. So it's like, I don't know. If you don't start with paying me at least £2.60 a stream, I guess you'll have to find someone. I mean, I can send you £2.60 as something like that. It's like, Retro didn't have give some money to my English friend in his scenario. A bit weird. I said selectively help people out. I didn't say who. I didn't specify. But it's like I don't want a brand new, you know, Maserati, this or that or the other. I don't want to, you know, I might get myself one nice watch. Just because I love watches. And, you know, I might get myself one nice watch, and it'd probably be an Omega, probably the titanium James Bond No Time to Die. That'd probably be it. That's about $9,000. I think that would be it. Hey, I did good. I did well. I get a watch, you know. But I don't, you know, I don't think I need all of the. I don't think I need all the, you know, the fancy cars. I've got a car that goes just fine. I love it. It's paid off, or it's almost paid off. It'll be paid off in October. And so I'm just like, I don't, you know, why? I'm the same. I couldn't be I couldn't be a manager. A $1.5 million house in California would fit me, keeping in mind that $1 million house in Cali would look average anywhere else. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. California is stupid expensive. An Omega watch would be... What if you collabed? What if we got an Omega Ace X Omega watch? The definitive Omega Ace. That would be so cool. I love Omega watches. I know everybody's Rolex, and I get that. I have a couple of nice watches. I do a lot of watch trading. I have a couple of Longines that I really like. Specifically, speaking of James Bond, the Mads Mikkelsen Longines Evidenza that he wears in Casino Royale as Le Chiffre. I have that watch. And it's probably my favorite one. It's so comfortable and it's just beautiful. It tells beautiful time. It's got a jump hour, so it's a little unconventional to set the date because it's got a jump hour. But yeah, I have that Mads Mikkelsen one. I have that exact one. So yeah, in Texas, I was gonna say you can buy. I mean, that's the thing about Texas, which is weird. In Texas, you can buy a house for $150,000 and it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath. 2,100 square feet, which is more than reasonable for $150,000. It's amazing. California, that's like $400,000. It's expensive. That's one of the things I really don't like about California. Is just so bleeding expensive. But jobs do pay better. But it's just golly, I bought my house a long time ago, so that's and we're looking to buy another one, but even between the both of them, we wouldn't have spent $1.5 million. If I was millionaire rich, I would just buy some huge modern TVs and some great CRTs and all the games and systems I miss, and then vanish into the night. That's my rich. And you know what? To do that, you would probably have not spent more than like $100,000 of your millionaire dollars. You'd still have like $800,000-$900,000 to go if you just had $1 million. It's crazy. Well, it just depends, I guess. I know all that would cost much less than millions, but that's all. That's fair. That's fair. All my exes live in Texas. I don't know. That wouldn't surprise me. Not just specific to you, but in general. We're getting a lot of people moving into Texas. I don't know why, but not just... There's always the conversation about people immigrating in from Mexico, and I think the United States, Texas, I think specifically, likes to make a big... deal of it's like, oh, these people are coming in. We have a lot of people that are moving from Mexico. Fine, I have no problem with that. There's a huge amount of big empty over here. That literally I could point out miles of just empty nothing that we could build on. So I'm like, I don't care. I really don't care. But we have people that are moving in from other states. We've got people that are moving in from surrounding states. We have a huge influx that's coming in from California. And it's a little bit troublesome because it's like, God dang it, guys. Everybody's coming in and they're like some of the companies, and they're trying to demand these, higher wages and higher spending, and then it's raising our cost of everything. It's like, God dang it. Like, it's not the fact that people are coming in. It's the fact that that we've got all kinds of people coming in and we don't know how to freaking manage it. We're not a very welcoming state. Let's just be very clear about that. We're really not, and it's a shame because it's hurting us. We should be a lot more welcoming and have better processes to integrate people as soon as we can so that it's comfortable for everybody, but we don't do that because we want to be all stodgy about things. $300,000 to $400,000 homes aren't bad. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, that is. No, in Texas, I mean, I'm not even kidding. You can get a $150,000 will get you a decent house. I mean, not even you want houses from bad neighborhoods, you can pay between $60,000 and $90,000, $100,000 in some cases. $400,000 home in Texas, depending on where in Texas, obviously, like Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, El Paso, probably not. Dallas, Fort Worth, probably not going to do you a whole lot there. But in every other area of Texas, pretty well. A $300,000 or $400,000 home is probably a 2-story, like 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage, 3-car garage. And that's the thing. Texas is not a poor state. That's the other thing. Texas, like a lot of people, you look at that and you're like, oh, Texas has got to be a poor state because they're, you know, they're not. They're not a poor state at all. We're as far as state money goes, we're doing pretty darn well. That's the one thing is like we do okay. Like our not everybody's. I will say this: just like any other major country, major company, that our state, you know, still goes according to the federal minimum. So some companies have opted not to move off that federal minimum, and that's not gonna. Nobody can live off of that anymore. That federal minimum's been the same federal minimum for literally almost 20 years, 16 years actually. I think it's been $7.25 an hour, by the way. But yeah, it's I don't know, it's crazy. It's really crazy. We've got a lot of stuff that's changing in Texas that I'm like, you know, we want to be our own thing, and we don't want to welcome other people in, and then at the same time we're welcoming in all kinds of people and not helping to get them settled and situated, and it's just making life hard for the people that are here in Texas, and making life hard for the people that are coming in, because it's like we have so much land to develop on. Like we should be able to have all kinds of people come in and have like housing ready pretty well to go. It's like, hey, here's the arrangement. All this empty land, we built some housing. I don't want to bulldoze all of nature, of course, but I'm saying we built this housing over here, and here's what the rate is. And I mean, we've got plenty of room for low-income housing. We've got plenty of room to develop for immigrant housing, so that, you know, nice apartments, because a lot of times while it takes a long time to get immigration paper or process done. We've got tons of stuff. Everybody's like, oh, we want to hold them. We got plenty of room to just put up some nice apartments and be like, hey, stay here in these nice apartments for us while we get everything figured out for you. Like, or, you know, whatever. Really, obviously, let them out and just let them out into Texas to take a look, do a quick background check, and be like, all right, might take a minute, but we'll get all this situated, and then let them go do their thing. We've got plenty of room, but no, we're being stodgy about it. I don't understand. I don't get it. Let's see. Send a thing real quick. See if I can. There we go. The engineer buddy of mine, Aaron, asking to borrow the Neumann microphone. Like, I thought he had one. I thought he had a one from his mic cabinet, but I guess he doesn't. I've got microphones like crazy, so I'm just trying to. He's like, "Hey, can I borrow that one?" I'm like, well, we'll see. You know, if you don't have one, but we'll go ahead and move over. But yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on, by my estimation. I don't know. California is a great place. I don't like the temperature. That's the biggest thing. It's so and it's hot over here. Again, this is no better. But it's so freaking it's so freaking hot. I'm not happy with the work situation at the moment, but that could change. That could change in time. I changed the location so nobody knows me. Fair play. Do you like when you say the work situation? Do you like the work? Do you have an issue with the work that you're having to do, or is it? I have to earn another team's trust and win over management again. Okay, I see what you're saying. Do you ultimately enjoy whatever? And again, you don't have to specify anything, but do you ultimately enjoy the whatever it is that you're doing? That's a bit. Oh, good lord, that was loud in my ears. I know for me, that's one of the big things.
They will be expecting us.
Like if the worst possible locker location of the team is generally cold.
All right. Now I'm wondering why Dagon sent Ravis instead of going.
When you say cold, do you mean physically, or are you talking about standoffish in terms of they're just not pleasant individuals? Because that's the thing. Like my company's all over the place. Why aren't we going anywhere, Grease?
All right, we're here. Get in your chair.
We didn't go anywhere, Grease. What happened? I'll get in my chair, I guess, but I stock hospital supplies. It's not a miserable job, but it can get boring. That's fair. That's fair. Does it at least pay decently for you? I mean, so you're fairly comfortable with what it affords you?
Ravis has more separatist toys than we thought.
Doesn't look like they spotted us yet. Think you can land?
I don't know. The risky part's gonna be taken off again. And
They're not talkative, and it's hard to tell how they feel about me. That's fair. I mean, we're
you save the jokes for later, Jetpack.
working with a team of people that you don't don't care for you, or you don't know if they care for you, or they could even be outrightly hostile. Obviously, I mean, that always makes the job harder.
The vultures are right in front of us.
Trust her.
That's fair. Okay, which is good. I think is perfect.
Okay, that was impressive.
We will drop you off. Good luck with Ravis.
That's the thing about mine.
Kid, hurry back.
I work with a good team. I work with a really good team of people.
Guns.
Copy that.
Oh, and I might get some of your blood. In case I get tired.
Sorry. For me, I think, like I said, I work with a really good team. I work with a really good team of people, which is really nice. It pays okay. But I also work with a lot of people that I just absolutely detest. And so it really is, when you talk about how important it is to have the people not be cold, that's how it is too. I work with a really good team of people. There are people on the management side of things that I actually disagree with, and I've done business for a long time. I've done all kinds of different businesses. I've occupied different positions, all the way up to different tiers of management. I'm very confident in my ability to do a good job. So it really pains me when I have members of management come back and say, basically, hey, how much of this do you think we can get away with? And of course, my answer is 0. That's ridiculous. That could be a weakness. I mean, you could consider it a weakness, but I'm very public about whenever I have an issue with somebody, if I think it's going to hurt somebody, or if it's going to cause issue to a client or whatever. I'm very much the guy that says, hey, look, enough of this nonsense. I'm not going to listen. And so I'm kind of the cold one sometimes, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Not attempting to be hypocritical, but just it's possible that I am slightly hypocritical in that, because I can be quite unpleasant to... Make sure I'm going the right way. I can be quite unpleasant to people that are not doing what are in the best interests of the people. But part of what helps me get through that, again, is also the team. The fact that I work with such a good team and the fact that I like that team.
Let's go.
We've already gotten that echo, by the way. Hey, Fighting Max, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good lord. I don't know. When we talk about... That's the thing, is when we talk about... Oh, I went the wrong way. When we talk about businesses, a lot of times, I don't have a very positive opinion on most businesses these days. I really wish I could say more. And that includes...
It won't open.
That includes businesses that are much more in the public, like Nintendo. Just, you know, Walmart company. We have a company here in Texas that's kind of a rival to Walmart called HEB. They are awesome. I love them to pieces. They are great. Same thing when it comes to fuel stations. Everywhere else, you go to this 7-Eleven and the people are overworked and underpaid. And I'm not saying 7-Eleven is specific to that. I'm just saying you go to a very... Are you kidding me? You go to one that's very commonly found in other, you know, places or whatever. And the people are miserable. They're overworked and they're underpaid. And we have Buc-ee's.
It's Ravis's ship. He's headed for the tower.
We have Buc-ee's here, and Buc-ee's is awesome also. So finally having breakfast, thank goodness. I was saying it's noon over there, isn't it? I bet you're definitely hungry, but it's like, good lord. Let's see. Let's turn this off. There we go. So I think one of the things I will give to Texas is Texas seems to make a big effort in people in Texas, I guess, seem to make a big effort in generating, trying to generate new companies or businesses that feel the same way, that are, you know, all about trying to take the people and treat them better. If you've never been, by the way, side note, if you've never been to a Buc-ee's, if you go to Japan, 7-Eleven is supposed to be kind of an experience. You go in and you have soup, you know, it's supposed to be super clean, and there's different food items you can buy that aren't just traditional low budget fast food, or doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's a little bit more well made and well maintained. That's kind of how Buc-ee's is, except for Buc-ee's is, depending on which ones you go to, are about the size of a small shopping mall. And it's Texas, so you can actually buy fresh cut and cured jerky, fresh, you know, meat from a barbecue from a, there's a chef circle in the center. That's all they do is make barbecue and beef and all that good stuff. And then they make all types of different confection too. So like candies, they sell T-shirts and house decor, home decor. I mean, it's crazy. I would say most people have never been to a fuel station like it. I hadn't been to one until just a couple of years back. I got to figure out where I got to go. But if you get a chance, you ever go to Texas, come to Texas. I think there are a couple in Tennessee and such. But if you ever come to Texas, check out a Buc-ee's just for the fun of it. And if you ever find yourself going grocery shopping, okay. If you ever find yourself going grocery shopping, also check out check out HEB. They have there's a position, this is one of the things I love, HEB, there's a position, you actually have a sommelier inside of HEB, and it's not super, I mean, it's not fancy in that way, but you actually have a sommelier, so he'll take a look, you drive by the alcohol, the wine, and you have stuff, you have food in your cart, you can ask the sommelier to take a look and give you a good pairing. So if you picked up a type of steak, for example, he'll look at the cut, he'll look at the marbling, and he'll say, "Oh, this would be a good pairing for that if you sear it over. If you prepare it this way." You say, "I'm going to prepare it this way." He'll actually suggest another wine for you. Or if you're going to have seafood, because they do fresh seafood here too, it's. Oh, you're doing that? Well, if you'd like that, this isn't necessarily a great pairing. This is a dessert wine that'll help. It's like, wow. Very, very cool. But I'm prattling on about just random cool stuff, so. I like the songs like this one on the soundtrack. These kind of softer, almost episode 2 style songs I really like. I love their little conversations. Okay, so I'm directly below.
System damage.
I didn't pay attention. I didn't know what that was.
Persist.
Oh, that really?
Damage taken.
I love the brutality of the finishing move also. But so anyway, it has been, needless to say, despite all of my prattling, it has been a very interesting, somewhat sad past 2 weeks, week and a half.
Still,
You okay?
they're not allowed to enter.
Okay, so we're doing...
I've got a potential target up ahead.
we gotta try to make our way back up. I hear in the next room. I hear Anna is also streaming. And I just heard her go, "No, no!" I think she was playing Sleeping Dogs. I don't know. Sleeping Dogs is one of those super fun, random hidden. If you've not played Sleeping Dogs, it was supposed to be. Originally, it was it was supposed to be. What is the True Crime Hong Kong or whatever? I can't remember what it's called. It's not. I don't think that's what it is, but... And it was supposed to be one of those any which way, and it ended up becoming Square ended up making it into Sleeping Dogs. It's a fantastic game if you've not played it. We had that was one of the few things that I'll give as a digital thing that's good for digital. Is sometimes you can get a digital copy of something for $2 or $3, and I think that's pretty awesome, truly. But beyond that, and I think Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition was one of those $2 games or whatever. Okay, it says I'm supposed to be able to come here and around, so that should do the trick. Let's see. True Crime Streets of LA. Yes, this one was going to be True Crime Hong Kong, I think. There's no need to be sad. I'm here. Think how lucky that is for a streamer. It is quite. It's lucky to have anybody come and converse with you, let alone people that are that I again. That's one of the things that I was making mention of. It's crazy how quickly time passes, because a lot of us have been dealing Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Have been talking and dealing with each other for, 5 years or so at this point, which is crazy because it doesn't seem like that much time passes that quickly, but that's exactly how much time has passed for this, for the most part. I make this mention all of the time. The first stream I really got to watch of Omega's, which I highly recommend, by the way, is a great stream, but is Super Mario Bros. 3. Watching him play that, it was a ton of fun, and it's obviously a fantastic game. I mean, I think everybody knows that at this point. Game came out in 1990. I don't think anybody's going to contest that it's a great game to watch, but it was so fun to watch Omega play it also. And again, that was a long time ago. Time just goes so quickly. It didn't. We'll try it again. Is it RT? Is it that what I'm missing? I gotta take a stim just because I keep falling off. I think it's RT. I mean RB rather. Yeah, Sleeping Dogs is great. Again, it's one of those games that seems to constantly be on sale at, $3 to $6 or whatever, which is, again, one of the few things that I'm okay with digital about. But if you haven't had a chance, it's the definitive edition. The game came out in 2013, I think. And all right. Game came out in 2013, so that's probably why it's so inexpensive, but it is easily one of the better games, and the definitive edition has had some quality of life improvements, some graphical improvements and enhancements from its original 2013 release. It's still worth it. Again, I don't care about the graphics so much. Input failure is responsible for 90% of my Jedi-related deaths. Thank you very much. By the way, welcome in, OS Full Metal. I keep forgetting, and I say this a lot. I play a lot of different games, and I've got a lot of different ones where it's like, where it's I didn't pay attention. That was okay. That was my fault. I play, like, for example, The Witcher, or I'll play another game. I'll play like Just Cause or something, and the tether will be RB, or the block will be RB, and then you come into. I hate that it doesn't allow you to just jump, and then you play this game and it's like, okay, you got to learn that again. So in this case, I keep thinking again, playing The Witcher. LT is my block. And so I'll habitually, even though I know I've hit the block button correctly a couple of times, I will habitually hit the I'll hit the LT, or I'll assume the LT is block instead of this. I think the majority, again, this game is a great game, but I think for me the majority of issue comes from the difficulty to navigate for me. It's just so... The maps are just so circuitous to me, honestly. I'll do that in just a second there. See, and I don't understand what some of these... I want to know, like...
My mind.
That's one of the things, again, everybody gave Star Wars Outlaws such a hard time, but they paid attention to detail. That's ML, that's what that says, ML. I have no idea what ML is supposed to be, what ML is meant to be in relation to. When we went into the Star Wars Outlaws First Impressions videos, I did 2 of them, right? It was first time streaming in 4K, and was also taking a look at those. It was...
You took a wrong turn, I think.
All right. Didn't mean to do that.
tuned, ain't ya?
I mean, I did okay.
Look out for
We'll let you do that. I'm gonna hit you. Okay, I don't know how that didn't hurt me.
Upward strike.
Throw it.
Thank goodness he shot that second one out of my hand. I did not mean for that to happen.
Maybe Centauri hid the compass in the tower.
Okay, I guess I'm going in the right direction. For me, again, input failure is one. I mean, obviously there's a skill. Whether or not I'm skilled enough is probably part. I mean, I've passed this game a couple of times, but one thing that Dark Souls and Soulsborne style games will teach you, especially this game on Grandmaster difficulty, is it's not a matter of being good. It's a matter of doing the same thing 500 times until eventually the law of large numbers works in your favor. The law of large numbers basically says, okay. The law of large numbers basically says at some point in time, the more I do it, the more likely it is it's eventually going to pan out for me.
There is the firing chamber. Yeah, I don't love the idea either.
Oh, that obliterated me. I almost had my way out. Or at least I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. I wonder how close I could technically be before getting radiation burns. Okay, there we go. I technically think I would get burns like the top of Cal's hair would have set fire or something.
Facility on the moon.
It would save us bringing materials.
Remember, like the wise Ray Skywalker said, do or do not. There is no well-written script. That's true. I was talking with a friend of mine too, another friend of mine recently. It was just we were talking about that, and again, he's a fan. He doesn't mind the sequel trilogy. He doesn't love them by any stretch, but he doesn't hate them. And we kind of talked about it. It's like it's fine. You don't have to hate it, but you got to admit it wasn't great, right? I mean, and of course he kind of comes back. Star Wars Jedi Oncology, yeah. This almost reminds me of that Split. I don't know if anybody's. Well, I know some people have Split Fiction. My wife and I have been playing Split Fiction together, which has been fun. And there's a part where you have these like bursts of it's like a bomb continuously exploding, and there's fallout and everything, and you have to continuously shield yourself from it. Yeah, let's take a raider out. Okay. I need to. There we go. One of my favorite moves right there is that long wind up, just chop them down. It absolutely feels heavy. It feels like it decimates their defenses, which I love.
All right.
But also sometimes you just miss. That happens a lot.
Easy, Mark.
Can I push them in the?
Let's get after it. I'm tougher than that.
Okay, I kind of want to.
Get in there. Give me
magnificent fight. Oh, yeah.
Here, let's just do this. We'll just beat the heck out of these guys. I wanted to push him into the... You can push him into the thing, I think.
This'll be over soon.
Will be if you don't let go.
What? Pretty impressive.
There we go. Split Fiction is so cool. So as it takes two. We need a co-op Star Wars game like them. Oh, that would be that's such a good idea. Literally have a Jedi and a Han Solo style character. That would be really freaking cool. You know, one plays the Merc, one plays the Jedi, and it gives you chances to kind of go through an infinite replayable. And I think a lot of it. I saw you. Your thing glowed. Whoops! Get out of the way, me.
Buddy, help!
Now that's not very fair.
Well, I didn't say. Nobody said anything about fighting. You were the one hiding in cover to get a cheap shot on me. He's like, that's not very fair. He was just sitting here ducked. Co-op Star Wars game starring Babu Frick and the Stormtrooper who hits his head. 10 out of 10. That game would be so melodically chaotic. Chaotically. What was I say? Let's see. Given EA's relationship with Star Wars and their connection to Josef Fares and his studio, it's probably not impossible that it could happen. That'd be nice. I mean, I would like it. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I'm off, but at the same time taking a look at the work texts and such. I'm not going to do any work. They're talking about
I'm here.
a call that the people needed to be on. I'm like, I'm not going to be on it. I'm off.
All right, but hurry up and let us know when you're on your way back.
Will do.
Okay. Wait, where are we? What are we doing here? I think I can drop down there. I think it's too far. And that's too sloped. What the heck am I supposed to be doing here? Yeah, that's not right. I got stuck against the wall. I was going to see if I could grab onto the other side of it. Yeah, I can't do that. This is full. There's no way that just leads to to death, though, right? I mean, I'm missing something. What am I missing? I can't wall run there. I was sitting there thinking maybe I could jump and dash onto that platform there either, but I don't think I can do that either. Yeah, you can't do that. I love how he just immediately he recognizes that he gets too far, and then he just recognizes like, and he ragdolls. So I've got, this is where I'm supposed to go, and it says I'm supposed to go, okay, so there's something down. You can't open your map when you're on this thing. So I guess there's something down and forward here that oh, okay, I do see. Gotcha. I think it would be really cool. I think a lot of the problem I have is a lot of the Star Wars. It doesn't seem like a lot of people want to do a lot with Star Wars, in my opinion, or nearly as much as they used to. Like, Star Wars was a really hot button kind of franchise, especially when LucasArts was making games. We had the Jedi. We had the Jedi Outcast game, which we did have a remake of, the original one, but we had the TIE Fighter game, we had the X-Wing game, we had the pod racing game, we had the Clone Wars game, we had Obi-Wan had his own solo game, we had the Episode 1 game, the Episode 3 game. Clone Wars was the only one that was kind of weird, because it was entirely vehicular, or almost entirely vehicular. And it was just, everybody wanted to make a game, and it's like, nobody really wanted to make a Star Wars Episode 7 game, except for the Lego one, right? Which, by the way, Lego is great, but it was like, it could have been fun if you would have made a video game. I would have taken it. If you would have made a video game telling us why we should care about Rey. It wasn't in the movie, but it's on this video game. Okay, I'm alright with that. I feel like Disney have burnt people out on it too. I'm an example of that. I think Disney has, but this is the tricky. This is the thing I think that pops up. Is when we're talking about Star Wars burnout. Star Wars had tons of games that came out in the 90s and 2000s. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Give me it. Okay, I almost didn't make that. This is the freaking tough part of this. I gotta wait till... Okay, let's... There we go. That's a ridiculous little piece of platforming right there. Sorry about that. I bypassed a well-written character. That's true too. That's pretty. Yeah, that's. What I was saying is, if you remember, if you look back at the '90s, you look back at the '80s, not the '80s, excuse me. You look back at the '90s and the early 2000s. Star Wars was all over the place. Think about this, just for a second here. You had Episode 1. Episode 1 came out. Episode 1 game came out. Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles came out. Episode 2 came out 3 years later, which is the same time between Episode 7 and Episode 8. Episode 2, The Clone Wars came out. Star Wars Obi-Wan came out. Star Wars Bounty Hunter with Jango Fett came out. Episode 3 came out. Episode 3 The official video game came out. Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga came out. Lego Star Wars prequel came out. Then the Lego Star Wars. We also had Dark Forces come out, right? So Dark Forces came out in as a lead up to Star Wars Episode 1. And then we had Star Wars Night Jedi Outcast. Then we had Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. These all, I mean, that cluster came out in about the same amount of time as everything else. Around this time, you also had Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars series that was coming out, which is 2002. You had that coming out. Merchandising was all over the place. So the thing is, we had all of the same stuff. We had a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff. It was just good Star Wars stuff. We have about the same amount of Star Wars stuff coming out now. It's just not as good. Did you see Did you see Ubisoft's reasoning for why Outlaws didn't do well? Because Star Wars isn't doing well at the moment is essentially the reason. Ubisoft, I don't like Ubisoft. I'll be very clear. I think Outlaws is a great game now. But when they launched it, apparently, we had a whole bunch of issues. I still love Outlaws. I think it's a really fun game. But it's got a lot of flaws. As a society, we peaked in the 90s. I mean, the 90s were pretty great. 80s were good. You know, so it's like...
One was enough.
We definitely... It feels like we were better there, but then at the same time, every generation says that, right? I mean, you have to think about that. Your parents probably said that we peaked in the 60s. And... or the, you know, whatever time that they were having the most fun they were having.
I'll look into it. I don't think you'll last much longer.
So I think every generation says that, and I don't disagree that time was a better time, but at the same time, I do think that you would get argument from generations prior. I think everybody kind of says it, and then, you know, and just because things happened that are, you know, that are good, or things are, you know, happening that are bad, doesn't mean that we won't have new times that will be awesome, which I hope we do. I couldn't make it in time. Why did that not count?
Reveals the path.
Yeah, I wish I had a place to meditate with some stims. That'd be really nice. I just need some... I sound like a junkie. I just need some stims, man. It's got to be a meditation space or something around here, right? And as you do all this platforming, all this fighting, maybe I just missed a space, and that was just my problem. Outlaws just doesn't hold my attention. I don't care for the non-force sensitive characters, but beside that, the combat system's just boring and not fun, even with the upgrades and Adderall. I don't mind the non-force sensitive characters. We've done that before with Boba Fett. We've done that before with iterations of Kyle Katarn, specifically in Dark Forces. And again, bearing in mind that, you know, the first Star Wars games I played were on the Atari. These things are, to me, they're really big, but I get it. The combat system to me feels very... It's not special, absolutely. It's just third-person shooter, but I enjoy third-person shooter. It's just simple third-person shooter, you know? So that's what I went from Star Wars. Someone who actually isn't a Jedi or another lightsaber. Again, Outlaws didn't land that for him though. It tried. It did. Yeah, it didn't do what it was supposed to. Bounty Hunter. Again, I would say Star Wars Bounty Hunter is pretty fun. If you've not played it, there's an upgraded version that has come out for the modern consoles, PlayStation 5 and Xbox and Switch, and you're playing as Jango Fett. It's actually really fun. It's not perfect. It came out originally in 03 or 02, 03, 04, something like that. Anyway, but it's pretty darn fun. Honestly, I would love a game. I don't mind the Force. I would love a game where you just play through as a Sith. And I mean a Sith. I don't mean somebody who's a Jedi who has mixed feelings or what people erroneously refer to as gray Jedi. It's just like, no, I want someone who is... I want to be the big bad.
Too late. I await you in the control tower.
I have 3 words: wrong-sounding Vader. I think... Oh, we finally get this ability? No. No. Wait. Well, Vader didn't sound right in... Think about Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, which I believe are also incredibly fun games. Vader wasn't right there either. It was just they kind of had tried to get us away from the James Earl Jones voice way before James Earl Jones was even close to passing. Oh, okay, I could have landed that, but I guess we're just okay. They kind of tried to get us past the James Earl Jones voice way before James Earl Jones had passed.
Stay alert. Keep a tight perimeter. The Jedi has been sniffing around, and I am letting him through.
And
I'm gonna take you out. Enemy is hit. Firing. Got him already.
You and me.
oh, didn't pay attention.
There's a fighting run. My God, will break. Nice hit. Going to make you bleed. Big death. Falling. He's dancing.
Hey, BD. Toss me one, BD.
I didn't mean to.
Impressive defense. Go.
Oh, I thought I had hit the dodge button on time. I guess I didn't. Gosh dang it. But yeah, I think they were trying to kind of acclimate us way ahead of time to the James Earl Jones voice going away, but it was just... They couldn't get him each time either, right? But again, The Force Unleashed, they all kind of just said, oh, it's not James Earl Jones, it's a deep, echoey voice. That's all it is. It's just that. Generically, you know, it's just generic. I don't want to say yet. I will eventually, but I'm not going to say yet. But OS, you might know what I'm thinking of here.
Not feeling so great, BD.
Took 3 stems to get past that whole wave. That's what a shame. What an embarrassment I am. Yeah, here we go. I don't mind Jedi and Sith, but I want it to be centuries old. Well, they even wrapped up. They used to have, this is the high, this kind of mentions it. Dagan Gera is one of these guys. Dagan Gera is a part of the High Republic, right? They got rid of the High Republic. The High Republic is now, that era of Star Wars storytelling is done. They're not doing any more as far as I know. Okay. Okay, so I need to get through here, and there's a ball. So. I love that this is a very clearly broken glass, but my lightsaber, and I know it's for the sake of the puzzle, but it's like, come on.
Do what you gotta do, buddy.
Okay.
Very good, buddy.
Let's come up here real quick.
Get down!
I feel like they pushed James out way early. how many years did Kevin Conroy play Batman? He played Batman until, well, he played Batman in general, but they kind of started phasing him out in 2013 when they chose not to bring him in for Arkham Origins. So Kevin Conroy did do a lot of that, but they started phasing him out fairly early also. And of course, James Earl Jones was quite a lot older than Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy was just his illness was more severe. There we go. Really? Why is it not rolling down the... Oh, is it... Oh, there's a hole there. I didn't remember that. I don't remember this puzzle at all. Okay. I have to remember... So I have to remember how this... Mark is still doing the Joker. He is, but again, they also pushed him. They pushed him a couple of times out as well. Where I mean, he's been the voice of the. He's one of the biggest voices of the Joker, but they've pushed him around a few times too. It's been John DiMaggio was once the voice of the Joker. Obviously, we talked about Troy Baker, who's doing homage to Mark Hamill, but then we also had whatever the guy that played it in the I can't remember what they were called, the Fat Man Batman ones. I can't remember what they're called though. Who's Joker in Red Hood? That's John DiMaggio. That was the voice of Bender. I'm gonna need some guys. Well, not those guys because they're dead, but he's eating the potato chip. There we go. I don't think that's how you're supposed to do that, but it worked. Yeah, John DiMaggio. Tim Curry was the Joker. He was the Joker before Mark Hamill. In fact, but it was only. I don't think they aired but one of his. I can't even remember, to be honest with you. I don't even know if they aired the one. They may not have even. But yeah, I mean, there were all kinds of different voices. I can't remember what I can't remember what the name of the frickin' let's see if I can. I know they had I can't remember who it was. I know they had Michael Emerson. That was who it was. I was trying to think for the Dark Knight Returns, which were great, by the way. And then they've had Kevin Michael Richardson, who was the Joker in Batman Beyond and all that. And of course, his voice is very, very different from what you would expect the Joker to sound like. But he did a great job anyway. I love that I missed all of that. Tell the big guys that Tim Curry's a fan. Oh yeah, I love Tim Curry. I think, like I said, I think the trick with it is in a lot of these cases that we were supposed to Batman has been several different. Think about this. Batman has been several different characters. Since Detective Comics, right? He was obviously written in one way, so we had our head, whatever your head voice might have been for him. And then we had Adam West, and we had George Clooney, Val Kilmer, Michael Keaton, which Michael Keaton, by the way, is still one of my absolute, if not my absolute favorite. Christian Bale. So it's like Batman's been all kinds of different people, all kinds of different voices, and Joker's the same way. We've had Heath Ledger, we've had Mark Hamill, we've had Cesar Romero, we've had Kevin Michael Richardson, we've had Michael Emerson, we've had Troy Baker, we've had John DiMaggio, and so it's like but with Vader started out as David Prowse, and then we never got to hear David Prowse actually do it until the behind the scenes stuff came out. But he's always to us kind of been James Earl Jones. And then they said, okay, well, we don't know anybody that sounds like James Earl Jones, so we're going to just make it a generic, deep, echoey voice. I mean, if you listen to a good example of this, and I'm guilty of it too. If you go back into my video archives and you take a look at me playing through Super Star Wars for the Super Nintendo, I did a voice change on mine so that I could kind of get a Vader-esque feel. But all I did was down pitch and add a slight bit of echo. I mean, I can't do a James Earl Jones voice.
And we can figure this out together.
Come with me.
I do wish.
Late.
I think. I believe James Earl Jones allows his voice to be AI sampled for future Vader, though, before he passed. Which I think is. I don't know how I feel about that, really.
It's changed you as well. Step aside.
No.
Then I must go it alone.
I feel like every time I see or hear about our comic book's doing well nowadays. Where are the new ideas and the new stories? Maybe they exist and they're just difficult to find. That's honestly, it's kind of like the video game industry, in my opinion. It's kind of like the video game industry. It's the indie scene. It's not Marvel and DC anymore. Or even Dark Horse for that matter. It's like Image Comics. There was one that came out a long time ago called Saga, and it was really good. It was just really weird and off the cuff, but really good. When you look at things like V for Vendetta, this is the same situation. It's like, my gosh, So it's like, I did it? Okay. Oh, I got all my stems and stuff back too. Very cool. I feel like every time I see a comic book, it's almost the older ones. And the older ones are great, especially right now. The ones I really want to get a hold of again are the horror comics that came out of the 1970s from Marvel. They were so freaking cool. Okay, there we go. I still think Clooney could have been a good Batman, especially Bruce. Oh, Clooney would have been. I have a guilty part. Batman and Robin's not good, right? It's just not. Schwarzenegger as Freeze is hilarious. And Mr. Freeze is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, because he's the only one that really. If we go into Batman, I think everybody loves Scarecrow, everybody loves Joker, and I love Scarecrow too. Let me be very clear on that. I love Scarecrow, but one of the games I want to play on this channel eventually. I've played it briefly, but I want to play is Rise of.
Let's give it a try.
Rise of Sin Tzu, which is a Batman fighter beat 'em up, and it's just super cool and fun and basic, and it's mindless, There we are. It's a bunch of mindless nonsense, honestly, but I love it. And it's got my favorite design of Scarecrow. But Freeze is actually my favorite because Freeze is the only one who kind of does everything for the wrong things, all for the right reason, in my opinion. He's just like, he wants to save Nora. That's the whole thing. And and I'm a married man, right? So I have a wife, and have had a wife for a while. And like I'm sitting there and going, yeah, I absolutely would rob a bank to save my wife's life if nobody else wanted to help or could help or whatever. Yeah, I absolutely would do terrible things to make sure that my wife was okay. I wouldn't do, I'm not gonna, do terrible thing, hurt babies or anything, because that wouldn't be necessary, obviously. But it was like, he was robbing banks for like diamonds and such. It's like, yeah, of course. Why would I care about a greedy institution, the greedy institution of a bank? Oh, that's not where I was supposed to go. Over the life of my, my wife or whatever. It's like, I get it. But Clooney could have been great. And honestly, what's his name that played Robin? Wasn't a bad Robin, I don't think. I just think that they didn't write it very well, personally. There it is. I saw it in the back of my things. I was like, if I fail, at least I know where to go next time. Let's see. Let's see. Is Troy Baker the only actor who's been both Batman and Joker? Yeah, I think so. I think that is true. I can't think of anybody else. We have so many remakes, reboots, prequels, and sequels. I can't wait for the Harry Potter and They are doing that, though. I don't know about Lord of the Rings, but they are doing a Harry Potter remake, I heard. And I'm already not super familiar with Harry Potter. I want to be very clear. I don't really know a lot about it. But what I do know about it is it was fairly beloved, and it doesn't probably need a remake. I don't know. And I understand that the author is apparently... I know the author is apparently somewhat controversial because of stuff I don't know or care about. But I would wonder if she's directly involved or if she just sold rights off to Warner Brothers and that's what's happening. I don't know. I'm curious.
Don't think we can slice that.
Oh, god dang it. Can you do me a favor and link some of these horror Marvel comics from the 70s and later on? Because that's definitely something I'd look at. Oh, heck yeah. Absolutely, I will. I'll send you some links. They are so freaking cool. And they were made so well. So the covers were kind of like these watercolor kind of painted looking covers. They were kind of matte, kind of flatter, more pastel, but horror. Like the Dracula one was so good. And then they were thick. They were like little graphic novels, but they were like newspaper inside black and white. But you could get some that it was super cool. I love them. I wish I had the option to pick them up for like $230, and I didn't because I was like, I don't know if I'll have room for them, and I really regret not doing that. I really wish I would have picked those up. Okay, this is just back to where I was, so I'm okay. I don't need to. Well, yeah, let's do it. That's why I sided with Joel in The Last of Us. I understood his choice at the end. Yeah, and that's kind of where the debate comes between me and a buddy of mine. He really likes The Last of Us 2. And I'm like, and I kind of do that thing where it's like, oh, not everything gets a happy ending, and Joel has to do this and whatever. And I'm not trying to spoil anything, but I was like, I don't know. You don't feel good. You don't like the character. It's fine, and if you're making a movie where you're like, hey, you're supposed to hate this, but then they try to make you sympathetic to that character, and that character is like cardboard, just two-dimensional, flat, bland, cardboard. Snape is a black guy, isn't he, in the reboot? Because of course he is. I don't know. You're probably right. I don't know, but controversial because I don't of stuff because I don't know or care about. I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know why she's controversial, but I don't care. It doesn't matter. That's the thing. You have to be able to separate art. I said this before. You got to be able to separate art from the artist. Like, I heard that there was some stuff Neil Gaiman did that was whatever. I still like Neil Gaiman books. I'm sorry. If I feel like I need to buy them secondhand now, then that's fine. There are several secondhand bookstores near me. But god dang, I don't care about all that. I'm reading for me. I'm not reading for the rest of the world. And he writes freaking good books. That's just what it is. And if everybody's, oh, you're supporting that, it's going to happen. Like, you're never going to be, in my opinion, your efforts are almost never going to change a person on an individual level. Like, they're always going to be that same person, and if they're wealthy or not wealthy isn't going to change how much they are that person. So I don't care. He's a talented author. I like his books. I don't have to care anything about him whatsoever.
Many years since I last took the light.
I love the voice of this guy.
Why did you activate the...
I heard you.
I didn't intend to answer. I love his voice. There's only been one other character like Ravis. I made mention of this last time. His name was
I betrayed him. Took many.
Shoot, I can't think of his name right. Dirge. Good lord, I couldn't think of his name.
And yet, he dishonored me.
Also, the people who claim you are this or that because you don't share an opinion is even weirder. Yeah, well, I mean, the only thing you are if you don't share an opinion with me is someone who disagrees with me, and that's perfectly fine. You and I have had a couple of disagreements, Ash. Again, I don't think either of us, at least I hope not, but I didn't. I don't think you did. I'm fairly certain you didn't. That we didn't look at each other and go, oh, you're stupid because you disagree with me. We disagreed, and then, like, we came around or we didn't. Like, again, I always use the Gerard Khalil thing, and I was like, we disagreed on that. And then eventually I came around and I was like, you know what, I think he's right. But if we would have kept disagreeing on that, then it would have also still just been like, okay, fine, who cares? Like, what does being right accomplish on this side of things? Like, do you feel better? Do we feel better? It doesn't matter.
Knowledge from me. You're gonna have to fight for it.
Very well.
I'm gonna stop it there for a second because I want to make sure I'm caught up on everything before I get started. But yeah. I love when there's a really cool, capable character in Star Wars who isn't a Jedi or Sith. Ravis is a great example of that. Ravis is so freaking cool. So he's not the first. They're called Gendai or Jendai, however you want to say it. Gendai is how I've always said it. They've been around since 2002, I think, is when they got canonized in Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. And Dirge was the first one. Basically, is this armored, really cool thing. Cal should have done his research on the species value. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about it, is Gendai are infinitely regeneratable. So it's not even a matter of, like, there's no such thing as vital organ. You're exactly right. I mean, you're spot on. I think that's exactly what you meant. So you're spot on. There is no vital organ. There technically really isn't a way to kind of kill these guys. Even if they want it to happen, it's kind of like, it really shouldn't be possible. Gendai are so freaking cool, though. I love it. Yeah, I'm not like that. I do not understand it. People whose opinions differ. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean. I don't understand. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't understand what people take weird stance in actual rule. Yeah, no, it's the thing. Anna and I disagree on a lot of different things. There was a debate, and I was talking about this, too. It's kind of weird. But there was this... there was this guy, this debater. This guy was debating, and he was debating on people having a difference of opinion when it came to, like, politics. And he was like, I think we should go to one vote per household, and it should be the man. And I was like, well, firstly, that's arbitrary, because what happens if the man is a stay-at-home dad and the wife makes the most money? Why wouldn't it be the wife in that case? So firstly, that's arbitrary, but whatever. And it was like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Anyway, so, but he was like, because if you don't let it be one vote per household, you let it be all the different votes, it's going to end up creating division. And I'm like, no, division's going to exist regardless, because your beliefs are your beliefs, except for in one case, one person doesn't feel like they got represented and the other person does. they feel like they were represented, appropriately. And so that was kind of my what I thought about things. Was what was said. It was like, okay. And like my wife and I disagree on a lot of things. We agree on a lot of things too, by the way, but we disagree on a lot of things. We disagree on politics. We disagree on, big politics. It doesn't matter. I'll give you an example of where we disagree, and it's not a fight. We don't care. There is there's a law that's kind of passing around the United States, and the world is kind of adopting it, where adult content, and this includes anything from something that might be considered violent or gun-related all the way to things that might be considered pornographic, right? So it's a very wide scope, are going to require you to send a picture of your ID or a picture of your face, or, it's going to require you to send a lot of data into these websites. And so for us, it's like, in Texas, guns are a big deal. You have to do it when you go and purchase a gun, obviously. But if you just want to access the website now, just to shop around, because you can't just buy the gun online anyway, in most cases. If you're just going to shop around and see the stock of it, you're going to have to send a picture of your face, your picture of your ID. I think that that's dangerous. I feel like that you don't know what these websites are doing. They're not reporting to government. You don't know what they're doing with your data. They're taking a lot of information and doing what they will with it. And of course, with the little amount of information, a lot of people sell it off to data brokers. So what happens when they have your full driver's license? And that goes from anything to looking at things that might be violent, to guns, and again, I'm not saying you should use a gun for violence. I'm just saying but all the way to pornographic, people that are recreationally enjoying that. My opinions on any of those, my opinion, I'm not even opining on guns and pornography right now. I'm just stating that those things, alcohol, and all of those things are online. Having to make a purchase for those types of things, generally, you have to have an account that basically matches your, or you have to go in and you have to see these different people where you're going to have to present your ID in person. If it's a violent thing, if you're just wanting to watch something that's very violent, you shouldn't have to show your ID, right? You shouldn't have to. You can watch it or you don't. You keep your kids off the internet if you're worried about it. If you want to watch something that's a little bit more naked than perhaps other things, that's your business, right? But what happens when you give your data to the website? When you send your picture of your ID or whatever to a website, what happens? I don't have to worry about this. I'm not particularly active online except for on YouTube, right? But that's where I am. I think that it's very potentially dangerous that these different various websites get people's ID, and already they've used what little they get irresponsibly. But she thinks that it might actually diminish the amount of kids that get exposed to some of this stuff. And I'm like, I get her point. I don't think that's as big of an issue. But she does, and we disagree there. We still get along just fine. Like, I don't think she's dumb because of it. I get her point. I just disagree with it. That's all there is. And she disagrees with mine. She doesn't seem to think I'm dumb because of it either. She's like, yeah. There goes my only piercing. I think that would be included, yeah. Xbox apparently looking at doing it too. Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Where do you draw the line? Because it could start off... it could be anything that's technically age restricted. What if you want to go and buy a rated M game, right? And you have to prove you're 17 now, right? Because AO games, adult-only games, aren't generally released on these big public access areas, except for on PC. And so it's like, okay, what do you do? What do you do if you're going to you want to buy a rated M for a mature game? You now have to show a driver's license proving that you're at least 17 years old. And it's like, or Peggy, for you guys, it'd be Peggy 18. You have to be 18 years old, right? We use ESRB, you guys use Peggy. But it's like, you have to prove you're 18 to buy this video game. And it's like, that's silly. I get what you're trying to do, but it's also, what are you going to do with that information? You now have to see a picture of the person. That's dangerous information to just be floating out there. If it's dangerous to do. And could you say, oh, can people get your driver's license? Yeah, the government has access to all of that, of course. That's it. But what happens when some random private access, private company like Microsoft gets a hold of it? When you're compelled to hand it over to this, cars.com or whatever. And what do they do with that data? I mean, you're already talking about their practices being dubious at the very beginning. So now you're saying to circumvent people who don't need to be getting onto these dubious websites with dubious practices, we're going to give them deeper information to use for further dubious purpose. I think it's a bunch of silly. I don't think it's silly. I don't want to diminish that. I don't think it's funny.
No more Jedi. Let us see what you have left. Slick. Feel that?
I love that he's actually using this in that way. Yeah, Ravis is freaking cool. I do love the fact that they put a Gendai in this.
Oh, come on.
I didn't mean to spoil, I just recognized I did. If you didn't know what a Gendai is, I did say they are infinitely regeneratable.
I won't disappoint you then.
Very difficult to dodge.
To last so long.
BD!
Dear of a blade. It's not over. Such skill.
Now!
I don't know, it keeps not locking on. Maybe that happened when I pushed the...
Up here!
I'm gonna try and do this. I don't know if I'm gonna make it though. I think that kills me. It doesn't, but it almost does. Let's see if I can get him with this amount of life. I don't think I can. Yeah, I didn't think I could. A bit of a cool backstory. Can't stand gingers. I think you're gonna. I said can't understand, but yeah, he's not a fan of this one at very least. No, I was making note that Gendai are infinitely regeneratable, so that I kind of gave away that fight had a second phase to it, and or that it could have a second phase to it. So. But I have the gold thing now, and that little gold thing will restore my health if I touch it.
Cannot give up yet.
Oh. He doesn't telegraph super well, and so because of that, it's very difficult to know exactly what thing he's going to do or how many he's going to stack together. At least it is for me. Okay, let's try this again. Now I've got some more stems. If you pay attention to, I love it. He slings the head of the Morning Star basically, or the flail about, and then he'll kick it. At you, which is actually something that has some. There's actually some grounds for that to have happened in the real world. So.
Jedi strength.
I got him first. This is very Mega Man. Oh my goodness. We're definitely playing by Mega Man rules, where it's whoever's bar goes down first. Whoever's bar is lower is in trouble. Alright, sorry, I know I'm super focused right now. Trying very hard to not die again.
In your death, Jedi.
Okay, we're fine.
Enough. I yield.
I needed the slow motion for that.
You have proven yourself.
Where is the compass?
Centauri Kree's observatory, as Dagon suspected. I have opened the way. He goes now.
Ever notice how funny it is when we can play when a boss heals themselves? Meanwhile, the players we have 28 flasks. Yeah, I think was it Dorkly who did a thing about that where it was like, it was the same kind of thing where it was like, are you kidding me? He heals and then he heals multiple times and then he dies and then he respawns with full health and then he respawns again and he's gone and done some grinding so that he could level up to this ridiculous, it was somebody, I can't remember who it was, maybe it was Dorkly, maybe it was someone else, but anyway, it was just great.
Dagon Gera stands in your way.
You don't have to do this.
Only one of you will reach Tanalor.
warrior's death.
So that would not have killed him. That would not have killed him at all. Gendai can also regenerate their heads. Although his head seems to still be attached from here. But yes, the Gendai can also regenerate their heads. So there's no reason. It's very difficult to know to know how to actually kill a Gendai. All right, now I'm centered. I need to I need to take a look at my perks when I get a chance. All right, here we go. Now we're going to take the thing we could have technically or should have been able to take since the very beginning, which is this gigantic rope.
I don't know what you did, but those vulture droids are making a hasty exit. The landing pad's clear. I'm gonna bring the Mantis in now.
I will tell you, these little balloons are super fun to... They're actually really fun to use. And I will say another thing, one of the things that I actually enjoyed so much about A Hat in Time that this has too is there are some really cool platforming moments. There are moments that I hate, like the one we were just doing with the gun going off and you have the stand. You have the stand that basically goes down whenever the gun fires, and so you can't use it. I hate that, right? Because it's incredibly tight time frame or window. But some of these, like this, is pretty fun, and it looks kind of cool if you do it decently well, which I appear to have very luckily done. And now I can just run back to this right here. Gamer logic, that's exactly what it is. So let's go into skills real quick. I got 3. I did max out my survival. It doesn't feel like my life bar is very... Didn't I? Wait, hold on. Greater reflexes, focus sight, hold it. I didn't do that. Alright, fine. We'll do... Did I already max this out? I did already max this out. So we'll go ahead and get some of our... We'll put some into our telekinesis. Let's do... Twin pull. So we need... I need unrelenting pull. That's what I need. So we'll do this. I need unrelenting pull. I was trying to show a cheat off a couple... Not a cheat, but an exploit off that occurs, and I forgot that I didn't get unrelenting pull, and that's what it was. So... Oh, I didn't rest. Probably should rest real quick. Wait, can I just fast travel back to the Mantis? Is it not gonna let me? I didn't pay attention. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just fast travel back to the Mantis. There's no reason to do all this bull. I hope Ravis goes on an adventure with Babu Frick. How many wives do you think Babu Frick has? I don't know. Do you think Babu Frick was hiding in that volcano area when Obi-Wan beat I doubt that very highly.
I'm a blaster, better run a little faster. Goodbye, alone saloon. The location shattered moon.
He's already written a jingle for his...
He ain't dead. How you doing, kid?
How?
Whatever you did up there, should pick the firebug now.
I also like how emotionless Marin is.
How we doing?
Cal. Okay. It's kind of like...
Yeah, I think so.
Say, Jetpack, give me a hand up here.
Yeah.
There we go. Are we going back to Kobo? Is that where we need to go?
Let's plot a course.
Let's see. Okay, I guess we'll head back to Kobo. Babu is the origin of the Sith. That's why he knew how to make C-3PO speak Sith. I mean, we could say that. We don't have any evidence to show that. The evidence of the Sith, the origin of the Sith, is that they were a species that eventually were taken over by a guy named Ajunta Paul, who they believed to be an incarnation of the Sithari, because they were both the Sithari and he were both left-handed. But there's a whole history behind it. That may not even be canon anymore, but that was what it originally was. Remember that scene in episode 6 where Vader was trying to threaten Babu, but he just got up and headbutted Vader, knocking him out? Amazing. Can you imagine tiny little... Why are we... What do you mean interact with a holo... I did. I selected that we were going to travel to Kobo. Babu might be the best character in the history of Earth.
Again.
I think I would break up with my wait, hold on. I think I would break up with my sister Leia for Marin. Marin's pretty cool. She is a Dathomirian, or Dathomiri.
I saw Dagan confront
A lot of people mistake Asajj Ventress with Dathomiri. She is not a Dathomirian or Dathomiri. She is a Ratataki, is what they're called.
these last few years.
Who happens to have been adopted and raised on Dathomir. So they look similar. They are not the same.
You are very stubborn, but ambition does not drive you.
I just don't understand why she didn't see the change in him before it was too late.
And we know the High Republic's done now, so we're probably not going to get any elaboration beyond what we've already gotten.
We dreamed together and suffered together. Shared dream is not so easy to wake from.
I just realized that what's under her jacket is basically the same. It's her Night Sister outfit from the first one, slightly modified. It looks to be. Obviously, her hairstyle is completely modified, but
yeah, a little.
If you ever stray from your path,
you want to look at little Beatty, and he's like, "Oh, Beatty is adorable. I freaking love that. He's a fantastic little droid." Who do you think finds more? Leia, probably, but Leia's his sister, so he probably doesn't. I mean, you can understand somebody as decent looking without having any sort of inappropriate feelings towards him. Salacious Crumb is not exactly. He's a Kowakian lizard monkey. There's no way he's not topping anybody's charts. Let's just put it that way. That's, by the way, actually what Salacious Crumb is. He is a Kowakian lizard monkey. Okay, so what are we doing? Where are we going? Is this a place we've been before? Do we have... No, it isn't. Okay. We have a rumor over there. Where is the... We'll see if we can find... Can we find a... I mean, I guess I can just kind of start running that direction. I was wondering if maybe we had a... Let's see if there's a place we can fast travel. That's true. You know I'm handsome, yet you don't bat for this team. Good analogy. Oh, look at that.
Fella, howdy. Howdy back at you. If you're looking for a side, you might want to trek to the higher edges of the canyon. Is it worth the hike?
That is the most clearly spoken Nikto I've ever spoken to.
Too steep to climb. And there's a lot of creatures up there. Some of them won't even eat you. Sounds like paradise.
That's definitely Troy Baker, though.
Tough climb, but you'll find a way up. and you'll see the true majesty of Kobo. I just know it.
Yeah, that's definitely Troy Baker. But that's the alien species. That's a Nycto, is what those are called. All right, he's next to my bedroom, so we're gonna not. Let's go fast travel, and we'll see if there's anything. Is there anything closer than where I am? It looks like where I am is actually going to be the closest. Rift Passage, maybe. I guess we'll just try to head back that way. I was going to see if there was something closer, but it looks like this might be the closest. Nycto. I know, right? That's what that species is called, is a Nycto. It's Nikto, I think. Do you guys think there will be a robot racism within the next decade? There already is. There's already AI discrimination, which this is one of the kind of the big questions that I've asked in a lot of cases is when AI fully realizes or actualizes, when AI basically becomes actual intelligence instead of artificial intelligence. Right now, we feel a kind of way about AI because we don't want. Let's see if I got any more. Did I get enough for the hairstyle? Let me see. I probably don't. Oh, I definitely don't want that. That's terrible. There. All right, let's do that. Yeah, we'll make it more like my hair.
This will be useful.
It isn't useful at all. It's just a hairstyle, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Bye-bye now.
Oh, I didn't equip it. There we go. Clankers. Yeah, well, so Clankers is. So it's funny. It's funny you say that because Clankers is actually the slur for AI right now, and it also was the slur in Star Wars for the droids in the Clone Wars. That's what the clones call droids. So it's funny that Star Wars kind of predicted some of this stuff. I think I might need a. No, I can make it. It's not wet, but. Star Wars kind of predicted some of the stuff. Clankers is what's what they're being called, but it's when they become actual intelligence versus artificial intelligence. What will we feel? You know, we won't want them taking our jobs, right? But at the same time,
I know. Come on now, it'll be okay.
But how will we feel? Or better yet, how will they feel? I'm not even kidding. Hold on, I'm going to introduce you to somebody that is amazing. You might like him similarly to Babu Frick. Yeah, Clankers is actually the slur for AI right now. And it was predicted in Star Wars as well, but I'm not even kidding. That's a true story. All right, I'm going to introduce you to someone. I don't know if you'll like him as much as Babu, but I think you'll like him similarly. You ready? Oh, here we go.
What's your name, lad? If I'm to hold a grudge, best to know the name.
I'm Cal. This is BD1.
My bantam old mum dubbed me Scuba Stev. Scuba the Fisher, am I?
You know, there's a fish tank down in Pyloon Saloon that could use some attention.
Pyloon Saloon? That'll have an infested watering hole down in your valley.
All right.
Fine, twist my arm. I'll do it. Meet me at the saloon and we'll appraise this so-called tank.
So there's Scuba Stev. I'm trying to zoom in so I can see him. There's a photo mode in there. There he is. So you can see him a little bit better. That's Scuba Stev. There's Scuba Stev. I thought you might. I really like him too. He's look at that. You can see his little.
Can you stay away? You don't even forsake the sea spray once it's mist in your gums.
I guess not.
You're the aspect of a fisher, lad. And lucky for you, we're perched just above the lair of the sea fish.
Sea fish, huh?
That's right. An impossible catch. No fisher in the right mind.
Basically, but it's Scuba Stev. Scuba.
No fisher. But Scuba's staff.
And that's why that's the other thing is because he'll jump up here in a minute. There he goes.
You see that one?
So he'll jump up there in a minute. So he got a
Small time?
starfish on his helmet there.
Well then, I've no choice but to regale you with my bleak-most history. Tarry a moment, and I'll tell you a thing or two about old Scuba.
He's really cool. I like him. He's got a little mustache and everything. Scuba. So it's Scuba, Skoova, instead of like scuba, which is Scuba. Because scuba is, I'm sure everybody already knows this. Scuba is an acronym, right? Scuba stands for self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. So it's spelled incorrectly on purpose, as well as is.
Careful. There's nothing to worry. Whoa!
We got a friend up there. As well as is to kind of distinguish him from the like, you know what we're talking about, but it's not him. The dumb stormtrooper, and then Scuba. Scuba is great just because he's teeny tiny, incredibly Scottish, which I think is hilarious. And then they gave him this like huge mustache for the size that he is, this over the lip thing, and it's like, oh, come here. And I don't know, I like him a lot. I like him personally. Babu Frick's a fun character, but I like Scuba Stev better than I like Babu Frick, if you can believe it. Even it's just he's fun. He's a fun character. Okay.
This won't be easy. Think of the rewards, Shanna. Come on. Okay.
Sound of a gun. All right. I could have made him better than Babu's if they let him swear. He's Scottish. I think he does say a swear word, but I don't remember. It's not a big one either. It's not like he's every other word, right? Because I think that would be funny too. But I know it's not that, but I do believe he does say a swear word or two in here. I could be completely wrong. It could just be my memory playing a trick on me, but I believe he does. Knock him off. Come on.
Analytical swing. Cannot escape. Controlled operation.
We'll go ahead and hack this KX unit. I can't believe take a look. Maybe I've made a mistake, but I am 99% positive. It wouldn't let me unlock. It wouldn't let me. I kept clicking my thumbstick. It wouldn't let me get off the lock. So I was trying to get far enough away, but I screwed up and fell off. Fair play, though, I suppose. Yeah, clankers is a real but again, that's what I'm saying is, what do you think about, again, AI currently is there's a heavy push in my job even, where it was like, hey, let AI do this. They wanted us to use Microsoft Copilot, and it was like, hey, let's, you can let them write this letter for you, and you can let them, and I'm like, why would I let them write this letter for me when I can write it just fine? And it was like, well, you make it easy. It's like, the more things that I can't do or that something else can do, the less money you need to pay me. I'm not going to do that. Excuse me. And I mean, that's not to fearmonger or anything, certainly, but it's like, that's how I feel. It's like, why would I get something else? Whoops. why would I get something else to do a job that I can do just fine? So,
Can you patch me up?
now if AI starts to get to, again, if AI gets to the point of where they are sentient and they can think and they are like, hey, we're not doing the job for free either, we need, you know, upgrades or whatever, then I'd be like, ah, yeah, okay, I'm fine with that. Like, I don't have any problem with the coexistence with a sentient AI, with an actual intelligence. My issue is with the fact that they're currently artificial, and if they're artificial, they don't require any sort of pay, and that could put me in trouble if I let other things do my job. That could put me in trouble.
Nest of shiver peats. Oh, Grease is gonna love this story.
This is why our future is becoming famous YouTubers. Robots won't have the gift of humor. You know, that's probably one of the few, the last thing. I mean, they do art, though, and that's crazy. They actually, I forgot this. They actually have a couple of reels where it's almost like that AI is going through what we already have gone through and learning the lessons we've already learned, which would make sense, I suppose. But there was an instance where they have these like sizzle reels of I say sizzle reel right as the flame trooper comes at me. But they had these like sizzle reels of like 1980s or 70s style sitcoms with humor that was, you know, that would be considered by most people's standards offensive. But they're like but not most people. Most people today's standards, let me clarify. Most people today's standards would be considered offensive. I mean, because it actually is making jokes on the, you know, racial or sexist related jokes or whatever. And it's like, I'm sure, I mean, obviously they pulled it from a joke book, but it's like animated. It's like AI animated AI. It's an AI animated thing. They've made it themselves. The people actually have. It's AI voiced, AI animated, and AI written. Apparently, they're on YouTube though. I don't think they do art well, but time will improve that. Oh, I agree. Well, it's a running joke. They can't do hands, yeah. But you can still get a job. Speaking of marrying comic books into that, if you'll remember, what's his name that created Longshot could never draw feet. So not being able to draw hands or feet doesn't mean not getting a job. Come on. I'll have to send you one of the. I'll have to send you one of the reels I had found, but it's literally an AI. It's like an AI humor sizzle reel kind of thing, or it's supposed to be, and it's weird. And I think a lot of people would probably be. I think a good lot of people would probably be offended by the type of humor because it's definitely a little bit more outdated. Some of it's, I'm not gonna lie, some of it has absolutely.
Place is crawling with Imperials. Just gotta keep climbing.
Has absolutely caused me to laugh, and I'm sitting there going, I probably shouldn't be laughing at this, but it's just, that was funny. It caught me off guard. Okay, there we go. Probably right. I get 2 shards now. Cool. I jumped in the thing too quickly.
Spooked. This could get pretty ugly, BD.
We just had a fight with an undying entity, though, so I think we're going to be okay. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think we're going to be all right.
Visibility's pretty bad. Gotta push through.
The visibility's not that bad. I mean, I can...
Let's stop for a moment.
Fogged expanse. At least it's not as bad as it does actually get sometimes here. So it's like, all right, we can take a look. That's where we're supposed to go.
Imperial shuttle? I don't know why they were flying in such poor conditions. Want to check it out?
Because they have instruments that don't require them to use their eyeballs. We have those in airplanes now. I was imagining. It's, to me, it's always funny, and it's kind of interesting too. And I'm sure that this was part of the intent, but it's like they always say that this is a long time ago in a galaxy far away. It's so interesting to see, and I think the story they're kind of trying to, the narrative they try to push on this is like, hey, this is stuff that we just basically... Can I run on that? Nope. I was trying to jump back and I didn't. It's stuff that we basically have lost the access or knowledge to and that we may regain again. Okay, fine. But it's really interesting that a lot of our just random nomenclatures and such have started to kind of adopt Star Wars specific stuff because of how... I mean, Hacksmith, literally made the lightsaber 10 years ago now. And it's an actual real-for-real working lightsaber. It doesn't work quite the same way as a Star Wars one does, but it works almost identically to the way that the Star Wars proto-sabers and looks like what the Star Wars proto-sabers looked like. And it's like, wow. That's a Mogu, I think, and I don't think he can see me, so we're gonna let that just lie. I don't know how that even happened, but we're okay. We're fine. It's ironic that it seems like I'm having easier... Uh-oh. Left one Mogu for another. But he can't get me when I'm sensing echoes.
Run, Shanna! We gotta go!
He can get me right after I'm done.
Seems we gotta climb the rest of the way.
Okay, I screwed up, but that's okay. Okay.
A lot of security, huh? Wonder who was trying to keep things hidden.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna have to go by the Mogu again. He's probably gonna get me this time. Oh, he didn't. Luckily, he's not the greatest in pursuit. Wait a minute. Okay. I love when you... One of my favorites is when you... there's a game... I gotta recommend this for anybody who's not played this. There's a game called... It's an of Might and Magic game. I can't remember exactly what it's called, which is a little disappointing. It is a Elements, I think, is what it is. of Might and Magic, and it is hilarious. I recommend it highly. And the reason I recommend it is most specifically because you can... One second. You can... Come on. You can cast... There's an ice spell, and I love it. Because you can cast this ice spell on... One of the funnest things is luring people to the top of a set of stairs, casting the ice spell on where the stairs are, and they will slip in the game. They develop the physics for them to slip and break their necks, falling down the stairs, slipping on the ice spell. And I freaking love that. I gotta go, man. Speak later. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Oh, no worries. Have a good day, and thanks for coming in and talking with me. But yeah, if you get a chance, there's this ice spell, and basically, yeah, you can just have people just set up traps, have them fall down the stairs, break their necks, and that's the end of them. That's just how that works. And I think it's hilarious. It's a lot of fun. Can we get in here? Yeah.
Anything? Watch out, bud.
This feels very Halo 3-ish. Halo 4-ish. Okay, unit strained so hard. Little head fell off.
Purge trooper. Got what was coming to him. What is it? Oh. You want it? All yours, bud. BD?
He was like, just trying to figure things out. It's okay.
Time to go! Some kind of electro dart? Next time, maybe run a scan before you start firing.
And we can now use the electro dart power, which is pretty cool. Oops. So BD ends up being one of the most helpful. I think Chopper's pretty helpful too, obviously, but I think, and R2 is certainly helpful, but it's like, we have these little electro darts now where we can actually fire to power different little things. Or depower them, depending. We'll go ahead and meditate. I heard somebody yell at me, but it's whatever. Okay. I think this... Okay, well that'll prevent me from accidentally blowing up, I guess. Okay, and oh. Maybe I was meant to be here to power it up first? Yeah, because I can't... Well, wait a minute. I can't reach it. So maybe I was meant to go the other way around. That's alright, we'll get up there. And I see. And now we can power that up. What? Okay. Is this a speed trial thing that I have to? I thought it was going to stay going back and forth, but I guess not. I couldn't reach it. Gosh, dang it. It's got to be a speed... It's a speed trial thing, but I don't... I'm just going to gently concuss myself against the rock bed. Oh, I see. I saw that too. I saw it glowing blue. I thought it was because of the power-up thing. That was dumb. Alright, now I can do it. But I can do it from here. And I didn't wall run because... why? There we go. I heard that charging up. I didn't realize it was a rocket. Oh, man. Okay, so you can charge that up indefinitely. I could probably do a shorter one. Yeah, there we go. That's my big problem, I guess, is I hold the thing down and then I don't actually get the push until the end of it. So like, oh, man. Ah, I did get him.
Resolve adversary's locale.
Why does this one keep going for grabs?
Little help, BD.
Keeps going for grapples, and I have no idea. I couldn't figure out why. Okay, so now, wait. There we go. Didn't even have to go around there and fight the KX unit in the first place. Son of a gun. That's alright. What do we have around here? I like the fog. Like this part actually feels of you go to Bogano a lot in this, obviously. We've already gone, what, this is our third or fourth time. You go to Bogano a lot. You really don't go to a whole lot of planets. It's kind of done, I think, very similarly to the way that KOTOR does the game. I've played KOTOR before on this. It kind of goes the same way. Does a lot of the same things that KOTOR does in some ways, but I think it is more specific as to what it wants you to do. Whereas on KOTOR, I could do the Jolie Bendo trial, or the Sunry trial rather. I could do the Sunry trial, and then I could be like, all right, I'm leaving Manon. I don't want to go to Manon anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. And I don't have to do any... Okay, is this the way I'm supposed to be going? Seems like it, right? So let's see what that other way is. But I could leave. I wanted to do the Sun retrial. I could, be his attorney, and then I could stop the Sun retrial, and which I like. I thought that was a really cool way to do things. On this, it's a lot more. It's simplistic. Oh, it's a Force Rift. I don't want to do a Force Rift. But it's a lot more simplistic of a reasoning. It's like, you want to go to Bogano because that's where most of the stuff is. Yes, there are side quests. Yes, you can follow rumors, but for the most part, you're not going to do that. In the case of KOTOR, it was always kind of you always had some kind of, it felt more like you were more autonomous in it. It was like, okay, I'm done with Tatooine. I don't want to do this. Or I don't want to be on Tatooine anymore because I don't know how to talk to the Tusken Raiders. And maybe you would explore 6 or 7 different planets. You wouldn't. You did 4. And that's what happens. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty. I think this did the planet traveling thing a little less well than KOTOR. I love KOTOR though, so that's probably very biased. I still think KOTOR is one of the best games ever made, and I still think KOTOR is the best Star Wars game ever made. Story-wise, it is just so good. I'm glad I was able to stealth. Oh, I spoke literally just too soon. I was like, I'm glad I got to stealth the KX unit also, and the KX unit turns around and is like, what's going on? But yeah, I feel like that this did that a little differently. I think Outlaws tried to kind of accomplish some of that. One of the things I really like that Outlaws did is it kind of does, for the first time, we were supposed to get it back with the original Battlefront 2, blend the space and ground battle thing together very well, which I quite like. So. We're just gonna do this. I dodged twice and it was able to find it. The holotable's a little jank in this game, not like the... No, that was the thing with Outlaws, is they were actually able to get space and ground battles to be... And again, the holotable being what it is. I still think... I personally really think that KOTOR did it the best. It was simple, it was a menu, but you felt like you were... It wasn't the holotable, it was just... I'm pushing buttons on a... I'm pushing buttons on the nav computer, basically.
I see him, BD.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Gosh dang it. I keep trying to get a force push out there and it's not... There we go.
LPD.
And this fight gets ridiculous in a bit, so I'm going to try and save that slow motion. Well, yes, it was. There we go. Now I think it's 2 giant purge troopers and something. Oh no, what is it? 2 flame troopers? We'll just do this.
Another.
Okay, I need that. Jet trooper. Ah, no.
Don't panic. Keep steady.
I'm not even panicked, and the other guy is a droid.
Enemy resisting.
Look at the situation tactically.
He did that and he immediately got shot down.
You will regret that.
I'm gonna reprogram you in case something else comes in. I think that you're the last.
It is not right.
No, you're not. I thought there were two giant purge troopers that came. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay, this'll do. There they are.
I'm gonna find my opening.
I'm gonna hope the K unit will keep them busy while I take everybody else out real quick. That'll do. Oh, he didn't keep him busy for long, did he? We're just gonna...
Pointless evasion.
No, not pointless. Keeps my face from getting hit. Sometimes. I hate that move. I hate that move.
Hey, BD.
It's these guys I hate. These are my absolute least favorite. In the first game it was the K units, the KX units, and this one it's those. It's absolutely those.
That's the last of them.
I died. I know the first time I did it because I was doing it on much harder difficulty. I died like 10 times just to those guys. 10 or 12 times just to those guys. It was ridiculous. These parts right here, these always feel super nostalgic because this feels like classic Star Wars to me.
Hold it right there. I won't let you through. I saw what you did to the others, Jedi scum. But you won't do it to me. Even your sorcery can't get through 15 centimeters of Imperial manufactured transparent steel. Right?
That window is...
You should open the door.
I should... What?
We'll do inspection, why not?
It's an inspection. You have orders to let me pass.
This is an inspection. I have orders to let you pass. Apologies for detaining you, sir. I'm sure you'll find everything up to code.
Let's hope so.
And that droid's looking at him like, you idiot. I think they super and perfect dodge I think the super and perfect dodge are two most underutilized abilities. They're OPAF. They're OPAF. I don't know what OPAF is. I don't think. Overpowered as... Okay, I think I get it. Which is good, but your window is so small in a lot of the to be able to do all of that. Can I... Why is it not letting me? Again, if you play this game, especially if you're playing on hard, I'm not doing that here, but if you play it,
Hey there.
If you play the game on a harder difficulty, you have to play it as a Soulsborne game. You're spot on. I'm trying to kind of I'd love to play it as a Soulsborne game, but at the same time, I don't want to slow it down so much so that I can't. I don't want to slow it down so much so that I can't get make fairly quick progress for a lot of the people, because obviously a lot of people do get impatient. Oh, you know, what are you doing? And so for me, it's like, oh, you know, I want to try to do that as best as I can. I want to try to get the try to do it quickly, but why can I not use my? I see the thing. Why can't I use my? I don't understand why I'm not able to use my. Why BD can't activate his little spark gun thing. Oh yeah, yeah. It's ridiculous the difference. What is the? Oh, it does. So I have to examine that first.
With these.
Okay, but why can I not activate BD? What am I missing? Yeah, Grandmaster took so much more effort, and I haven't passed it. I have to remember, because my Xbox version, I've only ever played it on 9, but the PlayStation 5 version, which I beat back when it first came out, that one I want to say I did on that. But I don't know why I'm trying to figure out what's going on, where I've done. There's an order of operations thing that's not going right here, and I'm trying to figure out what I've done wrong here. Confront Dagon at the Kobo Observatory. Okay, but that doesn't tell me why my little character, well, BD can't use anything. He's just locked for right now. Okay, how do I... It doesn't want to let me do the... I'm wanting to know what I'm missing here, because... I don't understand why I can't use it. Hold on. Is there something that I'm missing that is why I can't use BD? Because I'm supposed to be able to shoot a spark thing in there, I'm pretty sure. BD's right on my back. Well, I don't understand. Yeah, I can't use BD. I'm fairly certain that that's all I'm supposed to do. Is shoot a thing right there. But I can't use BD for whatever reason. Is there something I'm supposed to scan? Okay, hold on. Okay, I can't do anything with those guys. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to let's try this. Okay. Because it's acting like that I still have control over the KX unit. But I don't, because the KX unit got killed by the giant Let me do this. See if it'll refresh it. No, it doesn't do anything there either. Okay. All right, I guess we found our stopping point, because I'm going to have to figure out what happened. I can't use BD right now, and I need to use that spark gun, but I can't do that. So I'm gonna have to figure out. I don't think I can reach that again either, can I? So I'm gonna have to figure out. Oh, there it goes. I'll quit at the next meditation point, because I think the game I might need to do a full restart of the game. I usually end up with the quick play option. I'm doing the resume to play quick play option. I think that might be what it is. See, now I should be able to use BD. Maybe, we'll see. It's showing the correct icon. No, I still can't use BD. Son of a gun. It's I can hit there, but I can't use BD. He's glitched, because all I need to do is shoot into that thing. So I guess we're going to call it here for now, until I can figure out what's going on. I'll have to do it offline. My apologies. It wasn't my intention, but I don't know what happened. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Let me go ahead and move it over. There we go. All right. Whoops. There we go. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. The game glitched out, and I can't use BD, even though I'm supposed to be able to use BD here. So, I'm not sure what caused that, but we'll call it here. I want to say thank you very much for popping in, saying hi, showing up on an odd and unconventional Wednesday stream, but I just wanted to do a little stream, keep everything kind of light, and just have fun, kind of relax a little bit, and I think this accomplished that quite well, so thank you all for showing up. Big, huge thank you to Ash, to OS Full Metal, to Thumb Bros, to Fighting Max, to Omega Ace, to Bogus, all of you guys for showing up to say hi, to check in to see what's going on, to have little conversations with me, and to watch me play the game. Again, it's all about just having fun and enjoying the company and the game, so I really appreciate you guys for doing that. But I hope you guys will have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday and a wonderful rest of your week leading into the weekend. I know I will. I know tomorrow is my only full work day. I take a half day on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I might come back with another stream, hopefully this issue fixed. If this issue isn't fixed, then I might take a break for a bit and do something else, but either way, I'll make sure it's fun. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks.